these. All right, do either of you guys watch MrBeast?
Used to.
Hey, I know a lot about him. Like, I hear stories all the time, but
Okay,
I've never
he
actually watched him.
he
I like him. I just got tired of the constant, oh, I do awesome things and put it on the internet.
yeah
thing.
yeah
Kinda
he's
boring.
well yeah, it's funny because a bunch of people competing to see who can have a take on a situation, which, like, I hate the concept of everyone needing to have a take. I hate the whole thing. Seems cringe to me. They're like, what's your take? What's your take? It's like, shut the fuck up, okay? Just stop.
Yeah.
In a competition to see who can have the craziest take, people are now angry at MrBeast because he was being MrBeast, and he made a video where he went to different places around the world and paid for people's surgeries so they could see again, or like so they could see for the first time. Like, he took people that were blind
Yeah, I
because
saw that.
they had like cataracts in their eyes or whatever, where it's like the lens in their eye is all cloudy, and the surgery is like they cut it out and then put a new like artificial lens in. Well, he basically went around to different places and just paid for a bunch of people's surgeries, and it was like 1,000 people are now able to see because he paid for the surgeries. And people were mad at him for this somehow. Like, that's it. That's the video. It's just like me going around paying for people's surgeries and then filming it. And then everyone was like, well, not everyone. It was a very small group of people that were stupid, that were like, can you believe, like, he's doing poverty tourism?
What is that?
It's like when people go to third world countries or like poor areas, and they just like document it and sort of exploit it for money. Where it's like if a documentary crew went to like some poor village or something in some developing country and like monetized the shit out of it, and it didn't help the village at all. Like, it's just the documentary crew that makes bank on it. Like, that sort of thing.
Jesus.
But like, yeah, and there were like a couple reasons that I saw people were mad. One was like poverty tourism, which is stupid because there's now 1,000 blind people that aren't blind anymore.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing.
The second was MrBeast didn't single-handedly bring down the big pharma and capitalism in that video by itself. Like, just him personally, he didn't do that, and that was what they were upset about. They're like, it was some fucking big like streamer guy who's like a socialist, and he's like, yeah, dude, I watched that video and I was just so pissed because, like, why does the surgery cost any money? And it's like, because, you need a doctor to do it.
Right.
And doctors need to be paid money because, doctors need to live places.
You're just spitting truth. I mean,
Yeah, it's like,
perfect score so far.
yeah. And then third, the third one was like really honestly the funniest, was that it's like people were angry at the idea that blindness was something to be cured.
Well, it is.
Yeah, it's a disability. Like, if you're blind.
Fucking shit on somebody because they can't. But I'm sure that any blind person given the opportunity to would have that taken away.
Yeah, it's like, it was so funny because it was like, oh, you think these blind people that were like, I would get the surgery, I just don't have the money, are suffering now because they can see? Like, I think it's probably not true. I think they're probably like, hell yeah. Like, that's the whole point of the video, was they were like, oh my god, this is amazing. Thank you, MrBeast. Like, sick. And I was thinking about that because I was like, that's clearly the dumbest out of these three, even though like all of those reasons are like incredibly dumb. Like, this one was like especially stupid to me. And I was thinking about it like extra hard. And I was thinking, like, why, like, how do you even arrive at this conclusion? Like blind is not like a characteristic, really. Like, it's an ailment, but I wouldn't really say it's like a part of your identity. So why is it wrong if he gets rid of it? Like, why is it wrong if he pays money to have it fixed? Like, that's fucking stupid. And I was thinking more about it. I was like, clearly it's not like we need to treat blind people as if they're some sort of monolithic group, because never is that how people are treated. Like, there's no like demographic of like blind people for any other like collective action or anything.
Right.
It's not like politicians try to get the blind vote. Because blind people don't all vote the same. There's no, like, voter block of blind people. It's like, because they don't have the same interests, right? Like, two people that are blind, like, that tells you nothing about them or anything that they would have in common in terms of everything else in their life. Like, it just means that they can't see very well. Like, you could be rich, you could be poor, you could be of any race or gender or fucking whatever. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, maybe, like, any other group that like votes in a block or like can get grouped like that, like, it appeals to like some kind of shared experience that but being blind seems like a shared experience. So then I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, do blind people have memes that the rest of us just don't know about?
Oh shit.
Like some shit where it's like only blind people know it, and it's like some sort of hyper relatable thing, but only for them, and we just have no idea.
Well, it's like we have the concept of color,
yeah,
right, that they don't have, and we always talk about like, oh, how do you
describe
color to a blind person, right?
Yeah,
maybe they have like the deep cut memes, and they can't possibly explain it to somebody who can see.
Yeah, like you're talking to a blind guy or something, and he's like, haha, and you're like, what? And he's like, you wouldn't get it. Just blind people things. Dude.
Yeah. Like, down the flight of stairs. Oh, what, your cane didn't pick that up?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about that. I was like, and then do deaf people have memes where it's like, same deal? But I was like, I don't know. I feel like that's even less likely. I was like, I don't know, because they have sign language, but like, I mean, I guess that is memes, is like just sign language. Because like, how many people do you know that speak sign language that aren't deaf?
One.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's like, the one guy that knows sign language that isn't deaf is like the one guy that like decides to just learn languages because it's fun and not because he has any interest in the actual like anything to do with it. We're just like, oh, I'm learning a language. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm learning this language. It's like, why? It's like,
so I can talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh, do you have family there, or do you want to go visit that country? It's like, no, I just like learning languages. It's like, fuck you.
I just think it's neat.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel like it's that kind of guy. Is the guy that like
the same thing. It's like, you could add it to the list of things that I think Bill Burr. You guys know Bill Burr?
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy. He had this bit about like, just the guy who always wears shorts in the cold.
Yeah.
Bragging about like, oh, my legs don't get cold. Like, just his hope that like that's the one thing that's going to help him breed. Like this one ridiculous thing.
Yes.
It's like on the same list as that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my god, you speak sign language? Holy shit.
This specific part of your body doesn't get cold. You speak a language.
Like, wow, that's sick. Good for you. Like, no one cares. But like, even like with the language thing, I could at least see that getting you a little bit of pussy. Like, not much, but like maybe a little bit.
Well, because it expands.
Yeah, maybe
like,
some
girls who speak other languages. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, then it's like, if you learn Spanish, now it's like, if there's a girl that's like super hot, but she only speaks Spanish and not English, like, there you go.
For you.
Yeah, what is it?
Go for it.
Like, it's like the episode of Seinfeld where George hooks up with the Portuguese waitress simply because he knows Portuguese.
Oh, the genius one, yeah.
Yeah. So
like,
then
he calculated the odds. He never would have gotten it. The only reason he did is because he learned Portuguese. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some truth to it, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a show, but
So that
I'm sure
really
that will
does
work.
beg the question then. What would be more worth it to learn? Sign language or Braille? And really the real question there is, who's got better pussy, blind people or deaf people?
Even Tylenol. Can you hear me or not?
Damn, that's floating out there. That's crazy.
I don't know how to respond. I was thinking.
It's like,
no, sorry, I was listening to something that someone was talking to me in real
You're
life,
fine,
so I
you're fine,
wasn't paying attention.
you're good. I'm just glad I had a question where I was like, okay, but how bad could it like,
real life is knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Which would be better, deaf or blind?
What, having it? Or
I feel like
I thought you said deaf or blind pussy for some reason. That's why I was like,
Yeah, I
what?
did,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know the answer. Oh,
Yeah.
you did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, all right. If there are two identical girls, but one of them's deaf and one of them's blind, which one are you smashing?
Blind.
probably deaf.
Okay.
Definitely blind.
Now, why?
Because, oh my god, should I just, like, be blunt?
I mean, I guess, dude. I don't know.
Alright, yeah, it's my funeral, I guess. Okay, I mean, like, deaf people always talk weird.
That's true.
I don't want to hear, like, moaning in that, like, lispy
Oh,
kind
that's
of...
shit. That's actually a great point. Yeah, that'd be weird. Yeah,
You can't do any dirty talk, you can't do any... Yeah.
that's true.
It would just be a total turn off.
That's
That
true.
doesn't bother me
Does
at all. I
dirty
don't-
talk work in sign
I wouldn't
language?
even care.
There's really only one sign. There's really only one dirty talk sign.
It just... If you can figure out the sign for, like, panties, I don't know.
No, I was gonna say the only sign is just you make a circle with one hand and stick a finger through the other. Like, that's it. That's how deaf people dirty talk.
No, that would do it.
Dude, that's crazy. That's actually a level of, like... Dude, unfortunately, that's a level that blind people never get to. But I'm gonna have to say blind people. For this one simple fact.
All right, so both of you on blind and me on deaf then.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's my justification for blind. Is that through just the law of statistics, there might be a couple blind people that listen to this, and there's probably 0 deaf people that are listening to this.
Okay.
Fair.
That's why. That's my only reason. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
it.
Fair enough.
All right, Joe. Why deaf?
I just feel like blind is way bigger of an inconvenience in general than deaf.
Yeah,
Like,
I think.
feel like
Yeah, I think it would be
the
more
ability
inconvenient
to
to be blind.
see way easier to deal with than the ability to hear. Like, or let me say, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Like, I feel like the ability to see is way more useful than the ability to hear.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
In
But
general.
like, which one would you smash though? It's not about like which one would you rather have.
No, but it has to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're dating the person, then it seems like a more cumbersome thing to deal with. I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
That could be true, but I'm not sure. I think I don't know. I don't know.
That's my reasoning anyway.
It requires more thought, right? That's a thing that occurred to me earlier when I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how to like lead into that, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess I could describe the stupid shit that people were saying as like thought provoking, but like we should probably make that not a compliment. Like I disagree that something being thought provoking is a compliment because it could be really fucking stupid and bad and still provoke thoughts. Like,
Sure.
I've never heard anything described as like thought provoking in a bad way until I had to do it just now.
Fair enough.
Ooh, wait, all right, I got it. Here's a perk of being blind, though.